Oi, gente, tudo bem? Eu sou o Sérgio.
E eu sou o Juan.
O assunto de hoje é dumpster diving. Você sabe o que é isso? Você sabe, Juan?
Eu sei. Você
Eu
sabe?
também sei. Mas pra quem ainda não sabe, assiste o vídeo de hoje que tá bem interessante, né?
Tá bem interessante.
E a gente tem dois convidados, uma entrevista com dois convidados super especiais que vão explicar o que é isso pra gente. Então, assiste aí. I was born.
Hello everyone, we are here with two people that we really would like to introduce to you, and in Andrea and Arnie, and we would like to talk to you about dumpster diving today. So yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about dumpster diving and what it means?
Yeah, well, mostly it's supermarkets have food that is either doesn't look good or in some way it doesn't. There's one apple in the bag that is not happy, and then it gets thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of food waste, and it ends in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
So the dumpster is the garbage can
Mm-hmm.
of supermarkets
Okay.
generally.
Great. And how did you start to do it and why?
You had some
We
friends.
had a summer festival here. We were 52 people, and I always wanted to do, but I was very ashamed and very just like, oh no, I was always thinking because I'm a foreigner in this country.
Uh-huh.
And I look different, and so people were going to point fingers at me. So I was just didn't know how to start. But during the summer festival, we were 52 people, and then two of them suggested. They were from Finland and from I don't remember the country, and they had been doing it for a long time. So they suggested, because we had to use a lot of money for the food, we were buying everything organic, and they suggested if we could make an expedition. I said, I want to be part of that.
Great.
And that's when we started about 1.5 years ago.
Great. And what did you think the first time that you went? What were your
I was feeling
thoughts?
very uncomfortable. I thought everybody was looking at me, even though nobody was there.
I still feel that though sometimes.
Yes, and it's legal here. It's not that we are doing something or breaking locks or just no. Everything is open. And anyway, this guy, he was with gloves and with a lamp and everything. Don't touch that. No. Everything that what is open, you don't touch. Only this and this. When we come home, we use a cloth, and just everything had to be like that.
Yeah.
But now I just jump into the container without gloves, without anything, and I love it.
Great. And I want to ask you, Arnie, what did you think? And what was the question again? Sorry. Oh yeah, you said that because. Were you ever ashamed of doing it, of people? I wanted to ask you that. Were you ever ashamed or, you know?
I still feel some shame. The confusion inside about how am I helping the world or ourselves, and how much of this is just selfish, wanting to save money. So there's a constant thought process going on, but the joy of saving something from being thrown out and seeing the waste that is not wasted is actually so joyful, that sharing it with other people. And our joy, I think my biggest joy is that we are sharing it with more people than just ourselves. We're doing it as a part of something that we do as a group, and some friends and some people that are coming here to learn and explore that also. So part of what we do here. So.
Do you remember what the first thing that you found the first time?
Yeah, I remember the surprise of finding whole boxes of beer just because one beer was falling out, and they were like, how can they throw out 29 good beers when there's one that is broken? just because the box looked a little broken. And so we could take one box and another box, and it was like, how is this even possible? So there was a lot of inner conflict about saying, no, this is too bad. And also the anger about seeing the whole animals being thrown out, or meat, loads and loads of meat, where you butcher an animal for no reason, and then the meat is thrown out. I mean, so there was a lot of moral uproar and anger, or some anger to do that also. So the joy of being able to save something, yeah, it was a lot of fun, And the party, it's like a party where people are having fun at the same time, and somebody trying it for the first time and then finding a whole box of chocolate. I remember how that was.
The things that you feel when you see all the trash in all the food in the trash.
How do I feel about it?
Like a little bit of happiness and a little bit.
Well, first there's the joy of finding it, because wow, this is nice. All these fresh bananas, these are great, let's take them. And there's some joy about finding, so there's a treasure feeling, like looking for treasure. And at the same time there's also this like some anger. Why do they throw out this? All these beautiful flowers that are lying here, they just, because one is looking a little weak, they cut the flowers, and then there's a whole bunch of, like we could have 6 weddings and nobody, and we would all be more happy. Why not share this? And
but we also come with wishes. We ask the people, what would you like that we find tonight? And somebody says, oh, find some avocados. And we go there and we find those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It happened to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's almost a spiritual aspect of trusting in sunlight is free and rainwater is free, and the feeling that energy comes to you if you open your mind and your heart and your soul. Then the gifts are all there, and the dumpster seems to be talking that way also, that same language. So that's sweet.
You want to ask the next question?
Is it legal
Here in Denmark?
in Denmark to do?
There is like this very thin line that says if it's a private one for private people, it's illegal. So you can't look through people's garbage, because that's more about privacy protection and mails and texts and letters, and so that's a privacy protection. But a supermarket places their containers in public spaces, and so it's public access. You can actually, once it's in the garbage, it's thrown out. They've already said, this is no longer something we want.
But if it has a lock, we don't touch it. Like, has a lock, okay. It's not
So
coming with a big thing, and if people, unfortunately there's some people that go there and just throw everything around. So we try also to organize after other people, because at the end it's going to be not very good for us, because they're going to say, I know these people come and they do a disaster, so we're going to lock everything. So try to show by giving an example.
Great.
And in France they've made it legal or illegal to throw out food. So they have to find some other ways of doing something about it. They haven't implemented the law yet, but it's becoming a consciousness in Denmark and many other countries to look at waste of food and try to do something about it. So that's why it's legal. It's if people are willing to look in a dumpster to get some food, as long as it's not a private home.
What do the companies that threw these products away think about it? Think about this activity?
Yeah, this is the dilemma, because if to throw out something, you get the tax money back. So they do it also for tax reasons. So they will take something and say it's better to throw it out, because then we can deduce the taxes, so we get less, we have to pay less taxes. So there's like a part of the business that seems to help people throwing out, that it serves the business profit, and is against like human nature and reasons why throw out something good, but for money reasons. So there will be, sorry, what was the question? I think
about the companies.
Yeah.
What do you think about them? Like, if they think about it, do you know if they think that they are
some
throwing?
do.
Like if you ever had,
But also
had
they
some problem.
cut it to pieces because they don't want someone else to get benefit from it, which is really strange. Some companies, they take their things that are relatively good and they're going to throw them up, and then they cut them in pieces.
So they are bad.
So they can't be used by someone else. And that's a real strange, I wonder about that, why they do that. But most companies appreciate it and even willing to collect the buckets and say, you go there and you ask them, these, you throw them out, can you collect them? Because we can use them. So they'll do that, they'll collect them and you can pick them up. So they're very friendly and they don't like to throw out if they can avoid it.
Andrea, have you ever had any problems with companies when you were dumpster diving and an employee or someone went into you and said that you couldn't do or something like that?
I've been a couple of times where I went before the time where we usually go. We usually go at 9:30, 10 in the night, and this maybe was at 8:30 just after they closed, and then one of the employees coming out and, what are you doing here? This is a private and there are lots of rats in there and you are going to get sick and this is not just being like that. And I said, I'm just getting the plants and can I take these plants? Okay, oh thank you, can I give you a hug? And then change completely and then I gave a hug and said, okay, take the rest, like doesn't matter. And yeah, people change a lot because also they are not allowed, the employees, they are not allowed to take from the containers, they would be fired. So there's something like, maybe they feel, why is it okay that they do it and I can't do it, or just, but they change a little, and yeah.
And have you ever had any problems with other dumpster divers?
No, actually when we meet with others, some people are very curious, their first time, and then it's always important to share what you have and to be kind to the people that start, because I think it's a great thing, it's not a competition. And sometimes we ask them, what do you need? I would like one banana. Okay, just go there and this here, what else do you need? And then we jump again into the container and here there are some apples or some, would you like that? No, or yes, or cheese or whatever. It's plenty of everything, there's enough for everybody.
So yeah, what would you say to people that don't know it, and why would you do it? Why would you dumpster dive and go in the trash and look for things?
Well, for me, is treasure hunting is really great, and it's like this Kinder egg, you know, this egg that has a toy and there's chocolate and is something. For me, has to have more purposes than one.
Yeah. So why would you dumpster dive, Arne?
Well, for us, like Andreas said, there are many good reasons. The most important ones is it helps the world. Less things are thrown out. There's a lot of food waste, and that feels grateful and nice. And there's helping our own economy, and there's removing some of the mystery and the taboo about food waste and how we live together and share. So I enjoy a lot the sharing part, where if we meet other dumpster divers and something, it's like if we have 6 packets of tomatoes and then what do you want? Yeah, you need tomatoes? Here's one. So we can share what we find also, and there's a lot of inclusion and friendship created around it, because it's like taking some of we have to use money and it has to be expensive to be good. Take some of that away also, like there's a lot of prestige in owning and having and using money for expensive stuff. Taking out that and peeling a little of that banana peel to show there's things that are free, and that the best things in life are free, like sunlight and rain and friendship.
Next question again, please.
How much is enough? Like, how much is enough? Do you have some right
How do you know how much do you take from the dumpster?
Yeah, well, I think that's also like a learning, because in the beginning you think, oh, I'm going to take it all, or there's like all this chocolate and there's all this meat, but then it becomes too much. It becomes like overwhelming almost. So it becomes also, no, we don't want to eat so much meat, we can choose the better things. And actually it becomes, when everything becomes available and free, it becomes a choice of quality and joy. What brings joy and what has kind of, now it's great with some cake. Let's take some of the cake. but not too much, because why have so much cake? We're gonna die if we eat all this cake. So some cake is good, a little of this and a little of that. So it feels more like you balance out what needs are real, not based on money or something. So sometimes it's just great to be able to eat a lot of chocolate for a while and then not to care so much after, because it changes, becomes a more feeling experience, what feels right, and when to stop. This is enough. Enough.
And what to get and what to leave, like you have things that right or things that is wrong to get.
Yeah, we move more and more away from meat. Not because it's bad, but because when we have so much choice in life, it also becomes less connected with the money, and actually more connected with health or choices, other choices. And that makes it easier to choose good stuff. And it's like, okay, this is healthy and this is good, and we're going to make a little with this because we have the opportunity. And so that feels like it's so nuts and good vegetables and are more of a treasure than for big packages of steaks and other things. It just seems to be more of a treasure. You're finding something seems more natural, seems more healthy, and it's like, oh wow, this is a good gift.
Yeah. And what about for you, Andrea?
I have a scala. First the organic.
Yeah.
Plants, as many as I can fill up in the car, and then comes the vegan, and then vegetarian, and then if there's some meat, it's for Asha the dog, and organic also. Yeah, there's like there are many things that I don't take because like you can get a bag, 3 bags like this of bread, different types of bread that had been baked that day. And I would take maybe 4 loaves of bread instead of 3 bags, because I know that we won't be able to eat that much. So there's no need of bringing a lot, because then it takes the cleaning part when we come home and organizing. So at the beginning we were bringing lots of things, and we were having new volunteers. They were getting all like I was at the beginning. And then you learn more and more what to bring, what not to bring. Because some things get bad if you have them for a long time.
Yeah. And it's not the purpose. You bring something to go bad in your house instead of going bad in the dumpster.
Yeah.
We do have some worms that we can feed with the things, so it's better than throwing it in the garbage. There's still like a compost and generating some other value. So sometimes we'll take just to say, okay, at least we can use it for composting or something that generates more value than the garbage. But it seems a little like enough is enough. It feels like these will keep for a long time, so we can have them for a while. The chili sauce, there's 8 chili sauce. Yeah, well, chili sauce we can keep for a while. So
But what
chili
about
sauce
chocolates?
chocolates are really nice. But when it's big boxes, and then we end up not eating so much. So we kind of say, do you want one? Do you want one? But then no more. So then it becomes more like, yeah, it's good with some, and then also to let go.
Great.
Remember at the beginning we were getting lots of smoked salmon, and usually if we were eating that before, so then we were buying just a little package and then and now we were having so much, like a whole freezer full of it, and every day for lunch and for supper just eating, and then you get enough of that. It's not that you need more of that. So sometimes we get a lot of one thing and a lot of another thing, but it's great. I wish that more people could be doing that and not feeling, of course at the beginning might be this shame of, and not connected it only to poor people or people that cannot go to a supermarket to buy the food. This is available for everybody.
Yeah.
Great. I want to thank you guys so much for
Thank
speaking
you.
to us. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
E aí, vocês gostaram? Eu gostei.
Eu gostei também.
Eles têm muito conhecimento pra passar.
Sim, passaram bastante nesse vídeo.
Na semana passada a gente fez o dumpster diving com eles e foi bem chocante, assim, porque é uma quantidade absurda de comida, é muita coisa que se encontra. E é bem variado, tipo, de fruta, verdura, chocolate.
A gente achou uma caixa de chocolate, tipo, acho que tinha uns 30.
Qual foi a
umas
coisa...
30 barras de chocolate.
Qual foi a coisa mais chocante, assim, que você encontrou?
Eu achei um negócio que eu fiquei muito feliz. Eu achei uma caixa com estoque de vinho que tinha 2 garrafas de vinho.
Não, mais, era mais, tipo,
Era
5
mais que
litros de
2
vinho.
Foi. 5 litros de vinho. Eu fiquei muito feliz, eu dei até um grito dentro da caçamba do lixo.
O que eu mais
Mas
gostei...
foi ótimo, era um vinho ótimo, que eu fiquei chapada depois.
O que eu mais gostei de ter achado foi um saco com uns grãos, assim, tipo castanha, uva passas, que eu amo essas coisas, então foi bem legal. A gente ficou bem chocado, porque o Arne, que vocês ouviram ele falar, me disse que a quantidade estimada, assim, que a gente encontrou na semana passada foi $500, que é, tipo, por volta de uns R$1.500, assim, de compra, de comida. Então é uma coisa bem chocante.
Gente, é isso aí. Essa é a informação que a gente quer passar pra vocês.
Então, vocês já pensaram, já consideraram fazer isso? Se sim, vocês já... Qual que é a experiência que vocês tiveram? Se não, eu aconselho vocês a fazerem. Tentar procurar um mercado, algum lugar. Essa é uma alternativa ótima para quem quer sair do país e quer viajar e conhecer o mundo e faz a pesquisa e vê que é muito caro, né? Então você tem alternativa sim para poder comer, para poder sobreviver. Não fique em casa
pra poder
não.
comer coisa boa, porque
É verdade. Coisa que a gente paga super cara no mercado, um valor absurdo assim, tipo, aqui a gente encontra facilmente e você come até passar mal, até não querer mais. Mas enfim, foi uma boa experiência e a gente tá tentando equilibrar, assim, porque tem muita coisa que a gente quer ter e não tem. E aí você fica assim, nossa, tenho, até enjoa da coisa, né, que você come tanto.
Você já, alguma vez você já achou alguma coisa no lixo e ficou envergonhado de pegar? Porque as outras pessoas poderiam olhar? Você acha que você poderia encontrar alguma coisa boa no lixo da sua cidade? A gente quer saber um pouco disso, de vocês.
Conta pra gente, a gente quer abrir um diálogo sobre esse assunto e conversar sobre isso, porque é bem interessante. Então a gente tá aberto, se você tiver alguma dica também, se você mora em algum outro país ou mesmo no Brasil, tem alguma dica pra gente, tem alguma dúvida sobre aqui, é só deixar nos comentários que a gente vai ver e responder. Eu acho que é isso por hoje, né?
É isso.
Um beijo, até o próximo sábado, gente.
Até o próximo sábado. Tchau, tchau.
Tchau.
E aí, gente, vocês gostaram?
Eu gostei bastante. Eu sou o Juan.
E hoje